Okay. So as a person, the topic which was earlier taken was about the food, the having the food of the sattvikta, the tamsikta of the food, and the rajasikta of the food. So every food has certain uh, like certain way, in what way the food is, what is the food, what kind of a food it is. So as a person, everybody are taking their food, whether it's the sattvic food, whether it's the rajasic or the tamasic. Okay. It doesn't mean that if you're having a food which is like it's completely vegetarian, it becomes sattvic. And even a non-vegetarian food is also not sattvic. So sattvic food means any food which has the sattvikta, and your actions, your speech, your everything is having your sattvikta in that. If it is how your sattvikta and your rajasikta and your tamsikta also uh, throughout your day, how it is changing, that also is because of the food, right? So that was the thing which was taken, which was explained during that time. Now, accordingly, the food has all the ability, like what kind of mitahar you are having, right? So there is the concept of mitahar. Food is called as the mitahar, right? Now, one person who can take a nutritious food, the person, if I talk about especially the yoga practitioners to attain their discipline in the asanas, it is very important to have a good and a controlled diet. Okay. The mitahara that you have, that could be something which is not affecting your yoga practice. Okay. Let me, before explanation, I will let you know that what kind of things, according to, first of all, let me talk about the yoga aspirants. What are the types of yoga aspirants? So, according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there are about few kinds of the yoga aspirants. One, one yoga aspirants are Uttam Adhikaris, those who are very good at their yoga. Okay. Another aspirant who are the yoga practitioners becomes the Madhyam Adhikaris. And those aspirants are called as that they have been doing yoga for some time, but they have not become adept. Like they are not skillful. They are not becoming adept. Another aspirant are the kinds of Adhama Adhikaris, those who are fresh initiates into yoga. Okay. So you know yourself, like in in amongst all these three yoga aspirant, what is, what are you? Are you an Uttama Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, or the Adhama Adhikari? If you're new to it, if you're fresh into your yoga practice, then you will be Adhama Adhikari. If you're new, but again not become really adept, so that is Madhyama Adhikari. If you're very good and skillful, you are Uttama Adhikari. Okay. Now, what I mean to say about this with respect to food. So, what happens when a person who is very new to any yoga practice? So, then the intake of the food, uh, that completely is okay. Like they are getting, they become really, uh, they are getting into the yoga practice. So, the kind of the food that they have, the controlled food that they have, it takes time to to have a discipline in their food or the dietary habit as well. Okay. So kind of a mityahar that they take, it completely depends. You must have heard of one of the saying which is said as uh, those who take the food uh, once is called the yogi, those who take the food twice is called the bhogi, and those who take the food thrice is called the rogi. Have you heard? That has been said. So, is generally, if I talk about as the yoga practitioners, it is said that to have a very good diet as well. So, if I talk about, there are the certain things which, when you adapt to your yoga practices, if you do your yoga practices, see, first of all, it is very important to see the various things in your yoga practice. Yoga is the according to the different schools of yoga that I had previously taken. One is also to understand that there is the yoga of the Jnana yoga, there is the yoga of your bhakti yoga, there is the yoga of your how you are your Raj yoga, your meditation practices, right? These are also your yoga practices. So, if you take yourself into your yoga practice, what are the important things to be considered as a yoga practitioner? Okay. So, as a person, as a yoga practitioner who adapts to their yoga practices, does their yoga practices well, the way you do it, the way you attain your inner awareness is important while having your practice. It is very difficult to attain and achieve a particular level, I mean to say, as a yoga practitioner, you the person does a lot of a lot of asanas, a lot of pranayams, but to just not have all of those things, to just let your practice go as very simply, it can happen by your habits that you are not including in your life. If I say, for example, if you take too much of food, a lot of food is being taken, you do a lot of overeating. So having a good diet is good, but if you take a lot of food, so that will be having your problem with your yoga practice later. Because if you'll have too much of food, again, it will not take you to come on the mat, and you'll feel lethargic. Now your avastha will be changed, your state of mind will be changed. Okay. There are also I think I told you about the the kind of the state of minds as well, probably not. So I just discussed about the yoga's chitta vritti nirodha as per Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Okay. So having the food that is called, the overeating is called the Atyahara. Atyahara, right? Overeating of the food, if you have more than your appetite, जितनी भूख है उससे ज्यादा अगर आप खाना खाते हैं, तो एक ऐसा पर्सन जो योगी या योगा प्रैक्टिशनर होता है या बनता है, उसको सबसे पहले ओवर ईटिंग अवॉइड करनी चाहिए। ठीक है। ओवर ईटिंग से आपका जो वो है, लाइक आपका जो डिसिप्लिन है, वो खराब होगा। और अगर आप कोई भी फूड खाते हैं, जस्ट रैंडमली अगर कुछ भी लेते हैं, रैंडमली खाते हैं, उस खाने से आपका जो आपने अचीव किया है अपने आप को योगा में, आप जिस लेवल तक अपने आप को योगा में लेके आए हो, तो वो डिसरप्ट होगा, राइट? दैट विल क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम। Another thing, the second important thing I'm talking about, first of all, I have described about the yoga practitioners. Okay, the three kinds of the yoga practitioners, and the other one as, now I'm taking that what leads you, what are the things that are important to know as a yoga practitioner. So one is the food. Okay, when it is the food, you're able to take the food, so that is actually talking about your Atyahara. Next is your Prayasa. Now, what do you mean by Prayasa? Prayas is how many limits of effort you are taking. So, if suppose in any way, if you are putting a lot of effort altogether, having the physical and the mental effort, your physical effort, if you are taking too much of it, that should be avoided by a yoga practitioner. Okay, so it could be in any aspect. If you if you utilize, I will not say utilize, if you overburden yourself, like being on the mat, doing the asanas, teaching someone as a sorry, as a yoga practitioner, it's good. But if you are doing the all other things, many things, and you are overburdening yourself, that is also not good. Like that becomes your physical aspect, where your physical aspect is overburdened. It will affect your mental capabilities as well, right? So what is the yoga practitioner is required to do? What is the aim? What is the achievement? With the help of the asanas, with the help of the pranayams, it is to able to attain your one pointedness. One pointedness by mean to have that oneness within yourself, and achieve that oneness. After having that oneness with yourself, to have that with the higher self. Okay, Atmana and Paramatmana. Now, even if you are doing, it is not that you are sitting only and then you will be able to do without doing any work. It is just about to not overburden, so that your practice remains, whatever you have learned, your practice remains consistent. It should not be affected. Otherwise, when it is like anything that breaks in between, that is broken, so that means your way, your journey towards your transformation, your journey towards being a yoga practitioner is broken. And again, if one person at any one day is is having any of the habit which is not good in your yoga practice, that means you have to again restart yourself. You have to build all of those things again, and then get back to your practice again. Okay, so it is not like that it is something a big kind of it becomes a very uh, you know a bad thing that you have eaten so much or so much of physical activity. It is just a kind of the things that leads you to your practice, which is becoming less effective. Okay, so prayasa is that if you're doing your prayas,
12, 13,
huh,
14, 15.
is it?
Yes.
Rajendra Kumar ji, hi, good morning. हाँ, आपने कुछ कहना है राजेंद्र कुमार जी? You want to say something?
So,
Hmm?
Aji ma'am, good morning.
Ah, good morning. Okay. Where are you, Rajendra ji?
कुछ नहीं मैम.
अच्छा. You traveling somewhere क्या?
नहीं, मैं क्लास ले रहा हूँ, क्लास.
Okay. All right. So the prayasa is important. Prayasa should not lead to exertion. It should not lead to exertion in any way. So your if you exert yourself mentally and physically, even if I talk about as a yoga practitioners who have attained, my voice is breaking. हाँ, तो मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्या सबको? हाँ, उमर हानी जी, it's all good. You can check from your end as well, please. ठीक है? तो आपका जितना भी प्रयास रहेगा, जो भी आपका प्रयास है, तो वो आपका प्रयास ठीक होना चाहिए. आपका प्रयास में कोई, आप अपने आप को एज अ योगा प्रैक्टिशनर भी अपने आप को एग्जर्ट ना करें, ठीक है, उतना ज्यादा प्रयास भी नहीं। आपकी मेंटल कैपेबिलिटीज अफेक्ट नहीं होनी चाहिए, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली प्रयास होना चाहिए इन एनी एस्पेक्ट। ओके, so that if you overexert, that will lead to your failure in your yoga practice, ठीक है, तो वो नहीं करना है। तो चाहे आपका अभी तक फूड हो, आपको फूड में अपना कंट्रोल रखना है। इट्स, अगर आपको भूख है, सो नाउ आपको कैसे खाना है, आपको अपनी सात्विकता कैसे रखनी है, दैट द काइंड ऑफ फूड दैट यू शुड हैव, that is completely your way, that you understand your own self, that when you need the food, just avoid having any sort of junk food. A yoga practitioner should not have junk food. Okay, a yoga practitioner should not have food which is tamasic. Okay, a non-vegetarian food, packaged food, it should be avoided. A healthy food should be taken with a sattvikta in it. Okay, it should be an offering, like it should be something which is good and pure. Okay, next is now food, food ho gaya, and prayasa. Next is prajalpa. Prajalpa is, okay, I'm taking a little bit, not including it what is there in the syllabus. This is something that I'm along with the food, it is just something which is taken for a yoga practitioners. Okay, Prajjalpa is the talkativeness. Okay, so exceeding the limit in the speech is called Prajjalpa. A yoga practitioner should avoid having the over talking. Okay, a person who will talk enough, what will happen? The kind of the internalization which they have achieved, जो भी आप internalize करते हैं, जो भी आप अपनी प्रैक्टिस में अपने आप को अटेन करते हैं एक लेवल तक, जब आप ओवर टॉकेटिव होंगे आप में और द कॉमन पीपल, उनमें कोई फर्क नहीं होगा, ठीक है। तो जब आप अपनी योगा प्रैक्टिस में होते हैं, आपका एक ध्यान जो है, आपका अपने जो है अपने बॉडी अवेयरनेस और अपनी मेंटल अवेयरनेस पे होता है। व्हेन यू ओवर टॉक अबाउट योर सेल्फ, ओके माई प्रैक्टिस लाइक दिस, माई प्रैक्टिस लाइक दैट, एंड शेयर विद मोर ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स, दैट शुड बी अवॉइडेड। अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ नहीं इतना ज्यादा शेयर करना चाहिए आपको। आपको ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो है अपनी प्रैक्टिस पर ध्यान देना चाहिए। सो व्हाट हैपेंस, समटाइम्स पीपल कमेंट अ लॉट व्हेन दे practice itself, they comment to each other, or they might be saying that okay, how's your practice going, and they, you know, they disturb each other's practices. So it doesn't mean that you should not talk, it should not hamper your, it should not disrupt your practice. That is important, because being a yoga practitioner is very very difficult to attain a level where you are able to achieve that harmony within yourself and to have that internalization. And if a person is able to have their good energies, you know na, that you understand yourself as a, a person who has a bundle of energies as well. So when you attain that energies, and when you just let it go, let your energies go like that, it should be avoided. So for that, your over talkativeness should be avoided, and the practitioners who are the yoga practitioners, they should not disturb in their own practices. It is important, if you are seeing a particular person who's your friend as a yoga practitioner, everybody should encourage each other. Okay, that is really important. Instead of, instead of making it as a competition, it should be like that the person is able to help each other. That is important. So I would say it as, from the point of view of Prajjalpa. Another is Niyamagraha. Niyama, we understand niyam is really important. right? Niyamagraha is adhering to rules. अब rules क्या है? आपके कुछ जनरल और ट्रेडिशनल रूल्स होने चाहिए, ठीक है? There are certain general rules which is important. That rules could be just like, for example, that early in the morning you get up, okay? You maintain a discipline of yourself, and you maintain that rule that now I have to get up. Always I have to practice early in the morning, okay? Another rule could be that you bath, and after having a good bath, the cold water, then you have that chocha, you have that proper way of cleansing, and then you, after some time, you begin with your asana practice, your yoga practice. Next, it would be to not have anything. Your rule could be before any of the yoga practices, you should not eat anything. You'll be empty stomach, you can have something lighter so that it is not affecting your yoga practice. That is important. So, if you're having any of the rules, any of the niyam that you are following, that will be good for your own practice. Now, if you are taking or having, anything that the niyam that you are following so as to bring a discipline in you to have a good yoga practice with you, if you are doing anything beyond that rule, that is also not good. Like, rule is, once it is made, it is good. If it is like that, you are having your niyam in such a way which is also, you know uh, you know uh, having like, to follow the rules, and you become really really faster that I have to follow the rules and I will miss out, that should be avoided. Anything, any niyam, when you have to follow, be steady and calm with following that niyam, and not really fast. It's okay to miss out something. It's okay if certain rules are not being followed, but having, it should be tried a lot. You should try to follow the rules instead of having those things that, I will, okay, it's okay to not follow it, it's okay to, you know avoid. So that should not be the thing. The niyam should be followed, and one should not be faster to certain rules and regulations. To follow certain rules and implement certain rules, to implement certain niyams in your life, in your yogic life, you should attain those rules one by one. Okay? So, first rule, first niyam, okay, getting up early. Second niyam, taking the bath. Or third niyam, having a good water. You fill a jar full of water. Maybe some people have the, they uh, before they begin their day, they have a lemon water and something. Okay, then they have it and then they start the day. So all of these things becomes their niyam. So it is not like you have to have that niyam so you are becoming faster, and in fast way you will miss out the other balanced aspect of your life. So to not to have imbalances in your life in the other aspect, you should not be faster in your niyam. It should be very gradually followed so the other aspect remains in harmony, right? Next is the Janasanga. Janasanga means what are the people you are with. Okay. So now, if a yoga practitioner is, I have talked about it that yoga is nothing like that. You are becoming a sage or a rishi like that, that you have to have an isolation. But it is important that a person who is a practitioner should have the company of those people who are not having the feelings of hatred, having the feeling of jealousy, having the feeling of ego, having the anger issues, any of the things. Otherwise, it will disturb the practice. Okay. So, any of the any of the Janasanga which is creating any of the issues which will disturb you, that should be avoided. Okay. So what happens if suppose as a yoga person, what happens? It is being said that it is very it's a conception that a yoga practitioner cannot have like how they would uh, like they cannot have anger. They are the controller of the anger. They will control the anger. It's not like that, but it's better to avoid sitting with those people who will bring and disrupt you in your practice, and your calmness will be hampered. That should be avoided. Okay. So find those sangha as sang of the people who is able to take you in your yoga practices in a better way. And another way, it is again, if you're having the sangha, it's not the competition, it is always both ways. So in yoga as well, both are benefited. It's never a way that one person, is having any loss and one person is gaining too much. So having that thing should be avoided. प्रभा जी, आपको सब समझ आ रहा है? मैंने काफी बहुत बार इंग्लिश में भी बोला। सब
हाँ
ठीक?
मैम।
हाँ, आपको समझ आ रहा है?
मैम बीच बीच में हिंदी भी थोड़ा थोड़ा बोल दीजिएगा।
अच्छा, तो अभी तक जो मैंने तीन पॉइंट्स बताए हैं, वो कौन से हैं प्रभा जी?
जैसे मैम आपने फूड के बारे में बोला,
हम्म
क्या मतलब एक वेजिटेरियन है और एक नॉन वेज का है।
हम्म
फिर आपने टाइमिंग के बारे में बोला कि हम लोग को रूल्स बनाना चाहिए, खुद से मॉर्निंग में उठना चाहिए, खुद के लिए एक रूल्स बनाना चाहिए।
ये
फिर
तो
आपने बोला
एग्जाम्पल ये तो मैंने आपको एग्जाम्पल दिए हैं। आप मतलब अभी तक व्हाट आर द थ्री थिंग्स विच अ योगी विच अ सॉरी अ योगा प्रैक्टिशनर सॉरी
हाँ
अ योगा प्रैक्टिशनर शुड हैव।
मैम आपने वो भी बोला कि ओवर ईटिंग नहीं करना चाहिए हम लोग का, जैसे बॉडी मतलब ओवर ईटिंग करने से हम लोग का बॉडी भी मतलब मतलब मैं खुद का बॉडी भी ठीक रहना चाहिए। ओवर ईटिंग नहीं करना चाहिए, जितना कि भूख लगे उतना ही खाना चाहिए, उससे ज्यादा नहीं खाना चाहिए।
सो ये मैंने आपको जितना भी बताया है अभी तक, थ्री थ्री थिंग्स दैट आई हैव टोल्ड यू, दैट इज फॉर अ पर्सन, एक ऐसे प्रैक्टिशनर के लिए जो अपने योगिक लाइफ में अपने कुछ हैबिट्स को इंक्लूड करता है जिससे कि उनकी योगा प्रैक्टिस अच्छी रहे। तो आपकी
हाँ
प्रैक्टिस के साथ साथ जब आप आसनास आसनास प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, आप अपने आसना प्रैक्टिस को इम्प्रूव करते हैं, आप अपने प्राणायाम्स को इम्प्रूव करते हैं। उसके साथ साथ ऐसे कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग्स हैं, जिसमें मैंने फूड का लिया, तो फूड is one of the things which is important for a person to have a good yoga practice. Overeating should be avoided for a yoga practitioner. If to have a good uh, yoga practicing in yoga is important for them to improve in their yoga practice. What kind of a food they are taking? If they are not having overeating, next, they are not exerting their physical strength, they are not overutilizing their physical strength and neither their mental capabilities. अपनी प्रयास को उतना रखें, अपना खाना उतना खाएं, ओवर ईटिंग ना करें और उतना ही प्रयास करें जितना उनका फिजिकल एस्पेक्ट, उनका मेंटल एस्पेक्ट उनको अलाउ करता है। ठीक है। और अपनी जितनी भी स्पीच है, बोलने की वो है, अपना बोलने का भी लिमिटेड रखें। अपने
हाँ
हाँ बताएं बताएं प्रभा जी,
हाँ मैम।
आप कुछ कह रहे थे।
नहीं मैम, मैं सुन रही थी।
तो आप जितना भी अपना टॉकेटिवनेस है उसको लिमिटेड करें, और अपने रूल्स, अपने आप को जब आप योगा प्रैक्टिस करते हैं तो अपने कुछ नियम रखें और नियम के अनुसार अपने आप को steadfastness नहीं होना चाहिए, slow and steady होना चाहिए. ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am.
Having the sangati. What kind of the sangati do we have? So if you have a sangati with the people who have good feelings towards you, those good feelings and that people should be there with whom you will be able to accompany. Otherwise, those people who have the other feelings, they should be avoided so that your yoga practice is more and frequently enhanced. तो आपकी योगा प्रैक्टिस अच्छी होनी चाहिए, तो उसपे आपका जो enhanced रहेगा, आपकी जो एक स्टेट ऑफ माइंड रहेगा वो अच्छा रहेगा. ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
तो next is Laulya or the fickle-mindedness. What is the fickle-mindedness? That is any behavior of the senses. ठीक है. Senses behavior क्या होते हैं? अब आपके बेसिकली 10 सेंसेस होते हैं ह्यूमन बींग्स. ठीक है. अगर आपके किसी भी सेंसेस में इनकंसिस्टेंसी है, वो अवॉइड होना चाहिए. ओके. अगर आपकी सेंसेस में कहीं ना कहीं कुछ there is the senses are not having consistency, that means it creates the disturbance. Okay. That has the instability that erupts intellect and steadiness of the practitioner. Okay. So if you are having that inconsistency, अगर आप कितना भी अगर प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, अगर आप आसनास अच्छे से कर रहे हैं, अगर आपकी सेंसेस में इनकंसिस्टेंसी है, तो इन दैट वे अगर आप अपने सेंसेस को, इट डजंट मीन कंट्रोल ऑफ द सेंसेस, इट इज मीन दैट एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ इनकंसिस्टेंसी. सो मतलब रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है कि अभी आपको अपने सेंसेस को कहाँ पे लगाना है, अपने लिगामेंट्स, आप जितने भी हैंड्स हैं, जितने भी लेग्स हैं, आप अपने आप को प्रॉपरली अपने आसनास में लगा रहे हैं. ठीक है. यू आर कंप्लीटली देयर इन योर आसनास एंड विद दैट यू आर एबल टू, जस्ट अ मिनट. Yes. Huh. So when you have any of the senses, like your senses should be completely having the consistency. So it is like you are able to have a proper way to do the practice as a yoga practitioner. For example, a person who sits and meditates, okay? तो उसमें जैसे मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया कि अगर आपका mind body balance रहेगा and you are able to sit for a longer time, so that means you are able to be consistent with your asana as well, and you will not have awareness towards your body when you have to sit during the time you are meditating or you are having your practice of meditation. Okay. It doesn't mean that it is like it becomes a very usual way to have all of these senses to be completely and in control or having no disturbance. Okay. So those fickle-mindedness should be avoided. That fickle-mindedness should not be there. We are living in a surrounding these days where it is very easily you'll find the people who will disturb your your the senses as well. So if suppose I will say just a simple example, I'm not taking it that way, it's a very simple example. You're doing your yoga practices, if you do your yoga, so many people will say that okay, have something to eat, it's okay to eat. Now that will be again what your it will be something that it is something brought to you. Some people will make fun of you that okay, you do not eat this, you do not eat that. Okay. So when you have something, somebody is uh, giving you that okay, you can have that at least once, you can eat something which is good, you can have it at least once, that is okay. But again, these are also the senses. Now the senses will be disturbed. Okay, so that should be avoided. Similarly, if it is something like that, okay, you, wherever you are and you are being into the practice and you have to get up from there, so that is also your sitting will be disturbed at that time. So that is also that you are inconsistent with your at creating the disturbance in your yoga practice. Okay, तो ये like things are clear now, all of these things. This is very important. If I talk from the perspective of the a yoga who has to have a diet. So anything which is a nutritious food, the yogic principles of food is that if you have any sort of nutritious food, and the person who is having a most likable food, like one person, the person likes so much of food, according to the likability, the Mitahara should not be there. The person should have, the yoga practitioner should have a food which is good in the digestion, easily digestible. So anything which contains any substances which is irritating, any substances which is causing any problem, that should be avoided. आपको मिताहार वो लेना है जो आप अवॉइड कर सकते हैं, जो आपके डाइजेशन के लिए अच्छा है, जो आपको कोई भी इरिटेबिलिटी नहीं देता है, तो वो फूड लेना चाहिए. ठीक है. A moderate diet is that which satisfies the 3/4 of one's hunger with the well cooked food containing the ghee and sweets and is taken after offering to Lord Shiva. And this is called Mitahara and the limited food. आपका जो भी एक moderate food है, if you are offering to Lord Shiva, and the at that time it is like a well cooked food which is satisfying your 3/4 of the hunger. It is not that you are completely as per, if you are hungry too much, if you're too much hungry, you're very hungry and you fill your stomach with a lot of food, that should be avoided. Too much of overeating should be avoided, and if your hunger is up till some level, so 3/4 of the hunger uh, should be completed with your food. Okay. So the well-cooked food can have some sweetness and some ghee as well, okay? But after offering. Now, a yogi should always eat strength-giving food. ठीक है, तो अभी तक मैंने यही बताया है कि आपका जो मित्याहार है एक योगा प्रैक्टिशनर के लिए हमेशा एक डाइजेस्टेबल, जो इजीली डाइजेस्ट हो सके फूड वही लेने चाहिए. उसमें कोई ऐसे भी इरिटेटिंग सब्सटेंसेस नहीं होने चाहिए. ठीक है, आपकी जितनी भूख है उसका 3/4 आपको खाना चाहिए. ठीक है, एंड उसमें अगर अच्छा वेल कुक्ड हो, घी हो और थोड़ा स्वीटन हो आफ्टर ऑफरिंग टू लॉर्ड शिवा, एंड तब लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसमें जब आप ऑफर करते हैं तो आपका वो तत्व बदल जाता है, फूड का तत्व बदल जाता है. राइट. अ योगी शुड ईट स्ट्रेंथ गिविंग फूड, जो भी आपको स्ट्रेंथ देता है, एक ऐसा खाना जो आपको स्ट्रेंथ देता है वो आपको लेना चाहिए. ठीक है, जितने भी मिनरल्स हों, जितने भी आपके टिश्यूज हैं, उसको अच्छा करता है. आपके हार्ट के लिए अच्छा होना चाहिए. जो फूड आपके हार्ट के लिए अच्छा हो वो होना चाहिए. अब क्या होता है, generally the food that we are having these days, the males get lot of problem of the heart. ठीक है, because of what sort of oil, in what way the किस तरह से खाना बनाया गया है, पकाया गया है. The people, the males get the problem of heart very easily because of the what kind of food is being provided. Like it is the food which is have the food which is good to heart, which is good in having the strength. Similarly, in the present scenario for females, the kind of the food that is being taken that affects the mental abilities of the females, right? So in that way, any food which is increasing the humor of the body, which is creating a good and a happy being, which creates you as a happy being, a good being, a healthy being. आपको अपना स्वास्थ्य अच्छा लगना चाहिए. तो वैसा आपको मित्याहार लेना चाहिए, ठीक है। नाउ व्हाट आर द गुड ग्रेन्स, ओके, कैसे एक, व्हाट आर द गुड ग्रेन्स, द wheat, the rice, barley, or the swastika, a variety of rice, the milk, ghee, sugar, butter, sugar candy, honey, dry ginger, okay, the the five leafy vegetables, the green gram, the rainwater collected from the sun, uh, which is in the megha, is are considered to be the wholesome food for the advanced yoga practitioner. तो जितने भी ग्रेन्स रहते हैं और जितना भी ऐसा मित्याहार रहता है, आपको कभी भी कोई भी मसालेदार खाना नहीं खाना है, क्योंकि जितने भी मसाले वाले खाने होते हैं, ठीक है, जिनमें मसाला होते हैं, उससे आपके एंजाइटी बढ़ती है और उससे आपका एंगर इश्यूज बढ़ते हैं। तो हैविंग अ फूड विच इज लॉट ऑफ हैविंग लॉट ऑफ स्पाइसेस, दैट शुड बी अवॉइडेड। तो उससे उसका जो जो तत्व होता है वो चेंज हो जाता है, राइट, दैट शुड बी अवॉइडेड। तो आपके अगर एंजाइटी इश्यूज हैं तो आपको कोई भी, एक तो जंक फूड या फिर आपके कोई भी स्पाइसी फूड होता है वो अवॉइड करना है। कोई भी पैकेज्ड फूड होता है लाइक चिप्स, वो अवॉइड करने हैं। आपके कोई भी ऐसे फूड हो जो न्यूट्रिशियस ना हो, वो अवॉइड करने हैं। अ वेल फ्रेशली कुक fresh food and not very heavier food which is fried, that should be avoided, okay। तो cooked में a better way which is very light, not the baked things as well. Baked things should be also avoided. Having a good light food that can be had, just like a proper, if you have a meal like the roti, the chapati, the salad, the dal, or the any of the vegetables, right, that you can have if you have any of the anxiety issues, okay, all right. So when you see any sort of eating food which is bitter, sour, pungent, salty, hot, green vegetables, that should be avoided. कितना भी अगर आप अच्छा फूड बनाए, अगर आपने उसको पंजेंट कर दिया है, उसमें एक अलग सी पंजेंट स्मेल आती है, वो अगर देर आर वेरियस फूड्स, जब आप घर में कभी खाना बनाते हैं तो अगर आप कुछ ऐसा देखते हैं कि उसमें कुछ लाइक कलरेशन भी होती है ना फूड में भी, वो सब अवॉइड करना चाहिए बिकॉज उसमें बहुत पंजेंट स्मेल होती है, ठीक है। तो अगर कोई भी फूड में आपको लगता है बहुत सार है, सॉल्टी है, ठीक है, पंजेंट है, या फिर बहुत ज्यादा एक्सेसिवली हॉट फूड भी अगर आपको दिया जाता है या आप अपना एक्सेसिवली हॉट फूड कर देते हैं, तो उसका जो वो है लाइक दैट टेम्परेचर शुड बी ऑल्सो मेंटेन्ड, ओके। सो hot food should not be there, the green vegetables should be there, the oil should be proper, not too much of oily or not less of the oil, the proper usage of the mustard, sesame, and consuming alcohol, fish, meat, curd, alcohol consume of alcohol and fish meat should be avoided, okay. Having a buttermilk is good, having the berries or the oil is good, having uh, garlic is good, okay. So uh, so again, if you have that as a common person, you can have that. But yet again, if you have too much of it, lot of ginger, lot of food which is spicy, lot of food which is having lot of oil, the food which is having lot of salt, it is bitter and sour. For a yoga practitioner, that should be avoided. Okay, तो बहुत ही सिंपल खाना जो होता है वो योगा प्रैक्टिशनर के लिए ठीक है, okay. Food that is overheated, dry, okay, having excess vegetables and the vegetables which is unwholesomeness, that should be avoided, okay. So having an ahar which is simply having the lightedness is important to have a food. So to have a good mityahar, to have a good food, that should be taken, and these are the prohibited foods. as in what we have been told. तो अब हम ये देखते हैं कि एक ऐसा फूड, अब lot of practicing to not have the food, that is a bit impossible, right? आपका जो फूड होना चाहिए आज के टाइम पे, अगर आपको एक ऐसा आहार मिल रहा है जिसमें अगर न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यू नहीं है, ठीक है, तो उस फूड में कुछ भी आपको एक अपनी योगा प्रैक्टिसेस में आपको अच्छा नहीं रहेगा। आपका कोई भी ऐसा फूड होता है जिसमें आपको क्या अवॉइड करना है, एक्सेस ऑफ ऑयल, ड्राइनेस इन एनी ऑफ द फूड, या फिर आप बहुत ज्यादा उसको स्पाइसी बनाते हैं, तो उस तरह का फूड नहीं होना चाहिए। एक ऐसा बैलेंस्ड डाइट होना चाहिए जिसमें आपके फूड की जो न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यू है वो अच्छी रहे। ओके, सो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। अगर आपके कोई भी फूड में आप इंक्लूड करते हैं, आपने बहुत लाइट फूड बनाया और उस लाइट फूड के साथ साथ आप कुछ हैवियर मील ले लेते हैं, या ये सोचते हैं कि आपने इन वन डे, एक दिन में एक बार आपने ऐसा फूड लिया विच इज ओके, गुड इन लाइट, एंड लेटर you take some of the food in the other half of the day, something which is anything which the food is not proper, or it can be the spicy food, you go outside and have some spicy food, that should be avoided. Okay, so this is all about the food. Any questions up till now, anyone? Yes, Prabha ji.
मैम मीठा खाने से प्रॉब्लम होते हैं क्या?
See, too much of sweet should be avoided. मतलब ठीक है, आपका कुछ एक अच्छा मीठा जो होता है ना, अच्छा मीठा होना एक एक लेवल तक, उसकी स्वीटनेस कितनी है, तो अगर बहुत शुगरी है तो बहुत ज्यादा शुगर अवॉइड करना चाहिए, ठीक है। So this is something that is that is your part of the syllabus, to what to have in your dietary habits, right? Any questions, anyone?
मैम एक्चुअली आई हैव वन क्वेश्चन। एक्चुअली इवनिंग का क्लास नहीं हो रहा है मैम, 7 PM वाला?
हाँ, हो रहा है ना क्लास।
नहीं, 2 दिन से नहीं हुआ है। कहाँ हुआ है?
हाँ, 2 दिन से नहीं हुआ। You must have got the message.
आज हो जाएगा ना?
हाँ हाँ,
ओके ओके ओके। मैंने बोला कि मैडम का थोड़ा तबीयत अच्छा नहीं था।
मैंने वेरी बिगनिंग ऑफ द क्लास ये कहा है कि जो क्लास है वो आज का होगा, मतलब आज क्लास लिया जाएगा both at 7 AM and 7 PM, मैंने लिखा था।
ओके मैम।
आपने शायद देखा नहीं होगा।
हाँ, मैंने देखा नहीं था ना।
ओके, आपने अभी ज्वाइन किया नीलेश जी? आप इससे पहले मुझे नहीं, मतलब आप?
नहीं, मैं इवनिंग बैच में रेगुलर आ रहा हूँ। मॉर्निंग में आज आया।
अच्छा
स्पेशली आपका लेक्चर अटेंड करना था ना मुझे। मैंने बोला यार इवनिंग में कुछ क्या प्रॉब्लम है, आई डोंट नो।
अच्छा अच्छा,
ठीक है मैम, तो कंटिन्यू इन इवनिंग। ओके मैम।
आप इवनिंग में मतलब आपसे अटेंड होगा?
इवनिंग में एवरी इवनिंग करता हूँ मैं, क्योंकि मुझे मॉर्निंग में टाइम नहीं मिलता है। मॉर्निंग में मुझे
अच्छा
क्लासेस करने होते हैं,
अच्छा अच्छा, ओके
इसलिए।
ओके ओके।
यस मैम, बाय।
आप क्या है, मतलब आप व्हाट डू यू डू नीलेश जी, आप क्या करते हैं?
आई एम डूइंग जॉब मैम।
अच्छा अच्छा, ओके, नो इश्यूज देन, ठीक है आपके लिए इवनिंग। आई थिंक यहाँ पे सभी जितने भी हैं तो सभी वर्किंग है, और इसीलिए इवनिंग बैच भी ठीक रहता है, और जो मॉर्निंग के
इवनिंग टाइम मेरे लिए
दिन,
बेस्ट है मैम।
हाँ ठीक है, और
ठीक है मैम, थैंक यू।
all right, so that is all for today. So I think it's very important to understand yourself as uh, what as a practitioner you are, what in what way, in what level you want to have your attainment of your practice as a yoga person. Okay, and it is not like that the food that you have, you are you know, getting rid of the food. It is not like that you are making a habit in such a way that your food is like, your intake of the food is avoided. Otherwise the kind of the way in which your your energy should be, your the good way of having yourself, that should not be in any way compromised. So for that it is important to have a good diet. अब ये आपको देखना है कि आपकी अच्छी डाइट क्या हो सकती है. आपने अगर सात्विकता देखनी है तो उसमें आप क्या क्या इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, ठीक है, और क्या क्या अवॉइड कर सकते हैं. तो सिंपल फूड लेना है. किसी भी न्यूट्रिशियस फूड में अगर आप जितने मसाले डालेंगे या स्पाइसेस डालेंगे, वो फूड का जितना भी वो रहेगा, अच्छा अच्छा जैसे फूड रहेगा, वो बिल्कुल खराब हो जाएगा. तो वो अवॉइड करना है, ठीक है. दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. ओके, ऑल राइट. सो let me take your attendance first. All right, so we'll sit comfortably, and to end the session, join your palms together to the center. Gently close your eyes. Breathe in deeply and breathe out. Once again, breathe in deeply and breathe out. Let's begin with the Om chanting, followed with the closing prayer. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Take your palms together and generate heat. Slowly and gently bring your palms to your eyes and to your face. Give a warmth of your palms to your eyes and to your face. Gently bring the palms in front of you. Open your eyes. Look at your palms with a gentle smile on your face. Thank you everyone. Namaste and have a good day to all of you. And we'll be meeting this evening, 7 p.m. All right? Okay. Thank you everyone.